Hey guys, Reza here from Budget Audio Reviews. Today I'm bringing you the review of the Smabat M2S Pro. I'd like to thank Smabat for this complimentary review sample of the M2S Pro in exchange for an honest opinion. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. This is my very first audiophile earbuds, not counting the countless cheap earbuds I used in my youth in the 80s and 90s, right? So we all grew up with earbuds because, in-ears were really expensive back then, and earbuds were the most accessible kind of portable earphones we had. Let's address the elephant in the room immediately, which is fit. How do these guys fit, right? So these earbuds can achieve greatness if not for the fit. Earbuds are generally known to be a little finicky on the fit, If Smabat had put a pair of additional silicone rings in the box, that would have been perfect and probably solve all my problems straight away. So currently you can see I'm using the donut foams here, and I'm kind of like stuffing them in my ears like that. So assuming the ear, I'm going in and and I'm kind of squeezing it in such a way that somehow, the earbuds end up in this angle here, right out my ears. So, and that's how I get good fit on these earbuds. Other than that, I've tried downwards, even over ears. Over ears probably can fit for some of you guys, but for me, over ears doesn't seem to do well for me. So I have to slide it in sideways, something like this, okay? So other than fit, this thing is pretty much fantastic sounding. Before I go to the sound, let me just share with you the packaging and the boxes. So it comes in a really simple box like this. And I do like their logo. It's like Batman-ish that says Smabat. And it comes with full foams, alright, full foams and the donut foams here. Most importantly, it actually comes with the instruction manual, alright. So the earbuds do come disassembled. These plugs are in already, so you don't have to plug this in, but it's separated from the shell, from the body. So the driver is actually separated. You have to put it in and find a way to lock them down, which this one I found it a little tricky. I have to press it in and then find a way to kind of rotate clockwise slightly to lock in the driver. Okay, MMCX plug, you guys are familiar with MMCX plug. So other than that, the instruction manual is pretty straightforward. So they said damping here, so I think you could buy these damping filters to change the tuning on Smabat's AliExpress store. And I did get the stock M2S Pro with the 40 ohm driver. I believe the details are here. Does it show? Yes, it shows 40 ohms driver over here. So we were told, I was told by my friends that the 150 ohm drivers are fantastic, but those cost quite a penny, and this is just my first foray into earbuds, so I want to try these things out. And to my surprise, they sound very excellent. They sound really close to this fantastic pair of headphones here, the Audio-Technica R70X. Alright guys, so the full foams do fit better. Coming back to fit, full foams do fit better, but it cuts out the higher frequencies enough for me to notice that the trebles are not coming through enough, so I find that the high frequencies have been cut out slightly, and the full foams do warm up the sound a bit more, and it boosts the bass a little bit heavier. Not so muddy in a way, but bass just get a little bit more woolly and fuller. So I don't quite like that sort of bass. I like fast bass. So this guys gets the job done in the middle of the road kind of solution for now. So until I have ordered some of the silicone rings, and I intend to put one more layer of silicone ring inside, and then this donut foam on top. Okay, so let's get to it. The specs you can read online. Price on AliExpress is about $53 US, and in comparison, there's a lot more in-ear IEMs that's competitive at this price range. But at this price, I have no comparison in terms of earbuds. I was told that this was already mid-5 price range. Now that's excellent to know, because if you're really into sound and you're not looking at portability for commuting, then this would be perfect for you to sit at home with a stack like that, either a Zencan or whichever desktop amp and deck to drive such an earbud like this. These are pretty power hungry. They need a lot of power driving the drivers. Out of the smartphone, it doesn't do justice to the sound. Okay, so the test source during the sound testing was actually from source is the Samsung phone here behind the camera as camera, through UAP Tidal, through the dongle, which is the Loconnect CE0275. I didn't bring it here with me, sorry, I'll just put it up on the picture. But most importantly, it's driven through the amp here. I've used this with the Zen deck as well, and it's amazing. Of course, with the Zen deck here, it's an amazing kind of a listening experience. Soundstage is wide, crisp, and imaging and all that is fantastic. But even with a dongle, you would probably might want to amp that dongle up a little bit more with a desktop amp like this, or if possible, get a portable amp to push it a little bit more for the M2S Pro. Now, the overall sound impressions, Smabat did some excellent magic and voodoo on the, what they call it, the 3D printed labyrinth pipeline. So you could find those pictures on AliExpress. What they did was they did some kind of channeling for sound to travel through the inside of this casing here. It's amazing. So you actually get fantastic sub-bass presence and mid-bass stump, which sometimes can't even be found on IEMs. Now, it's not all about bass. The M2S Pro also has highly resolving sound that's akin to reference open back headphones, just like this Audio-Technica R70X over here. And that's what I was really surprised. The moment I put on these earbuds here and tested some music, it felt as if like sound just opened up sideways. That's one. Two, the sound got taller. So in terms of IEMs, you do have a sense that the sound is in this narrow channel and gets up in your head. But for earbuds, you do get that width like an open back headphones, and you get the height like an open back headphones. It kind of envelopes your ears a little bit more. So surprising for how an earbuds can create that similar sensation of sound enveloping your ears. A couple of test albums that I put out, which is like, I'll show you here on my notes if you could see it. Yeah. So we have Diana Krall, Birdie, Young Heart, Puzzles Live Volume 1, Vinnie Moore Live, Tony Allen, There Is No End, Dave Brubeck Quartet, Jamiroquai Automaton, Seth MacFarlane, Metallica SNM2, Daniel Deluxe, Ghost Runner. So a whole host of stuff here that you can see. The written review is on NBBA and Truth About Audio. I'll put up those links just below in the in the description below. Next, we talk about build quality and accessories. So this guy feels and looks impressive, striking an excellent balance between form and function. Pretty much German style. If you could remember the Mercedes Gullwing 300 SLs from the 15s and 60s, silver colored. So I kind of imagine this to be those kind of Mercedes kind of cars, right? So it's both form and function. So in the box, you've seen the accessories, pretty Spartan. I would have hoped they put those silicone rings a bit more. But that's alright. I think those are additional purchases that you can try to enhance your experience of the Smabat M2S Pro. Into the sound, in the specifics, well, bass hits with good authority and quality, and but it falls shy of digging down harder for bass hits. So the Ghost Runner has a lot more bass that stays. So this guy, it can't dig in hard enough for EDMs like Ghost Runner, right? So I think for most genres, the M2S Pro will do very, very well. Mids, these guys do very well. The mids, they are lush with very natural timbre for both female and male vocals. I do find that this guy can produce male vocals very, very well. I found that some IEMs made male vocals sound either nasally or too thin, but the M2S Pro is able to get the right balance in terms of the quality of male vocals, okay? In terms of the sound of a male person's voice, like Seth MacFarlane's, sounds a lot more believable and the tone sounds a lot more accurate. Now, I thoroughly enjoy Diana Krall's Live in Paris, and it felt that the performance was so real and lifelike. So the moment you plug in these guys, all right, so you are seated right in between the concert hall, which is pretty amazing experience, very, very amazing. So there's no upper mid glare or congestion on these guys here. I've tried those with Natalie Merchant's Life is Sweet and in the Ophelia album, so these guys perform excellent for those with no upper mid sibilance or upper mid glare and blare. In terms of trebles, I'm very pleased to report that the trebles of the M2S Pro are refined without being sibilant or edgy. So you get very nice, clear, almost transparent details reaching you. So when you listen to Dave Brubeck's Bossa Nova Live USA, I know those cymbals are a little bit further back in the mix because the drums is on the left side of the channel, pianos is on the right, and then the trumpets are somewhere in the center. But when you hear the cymbals riding on the left channel here, you can hear it coming through very, very clearly. For heavy metal stuff like Metallica and all that, of course, you can hear the shimmer of the treble of the cymbals, and they sound really, really very, very good. Imaging, brilliantly done. So Dave Brubeck's Bossa Nova USA Live is so extremely well defined that you can... I love Dave Brubeck's Bossa Nova USA Live because even for normal, average earphones, you already can tell where the instruments are. But for better ones like this, now that 3D space gets even more real, where you do hear the pianos being separated here, the trumpets are further in the middle of the channel, and the drums is everything's on the left, and the bass, the double bass, is also clearly segmented in the space of the room, and that's fantastic. Soundstage, this is again, they are both wide and tall, so it mimics very, very well what the Audio-Technica R70X does. Again, the Audio-Technica R70X does not have the wider soundstage. You can compare it to, let's say, the AKG K612 Pro, much wider soundstage, but because of that, you know, things sounds pulled apart too much and very unrealistic. I do like what the R70X does, where that soundstage is a little bit more compact, but the sound stays together. It's not, you know, pulled out artificially. So this is what this guy does. I do get a sense of good width, good height, and believability that I am there, especially for live performances. Tonality, this is a warm, mild, V-shaped tuning, all right, and it's done very well. It's got great bass, but again, bass not just for bass sake, but tune as an accompanying balance to the overall sound, giving body, warmth, and texture to the sound. So overall texture and tonality of the M2S Pro is really, really fantastic. You know, even at this price range, if I want to compare to an IEM, typically in the US $50 range, it's like the QOA Vespa. I can't compare the sound because they're two different animals, they're two different things. But if I'm sitting down at home, I want something like open back experience, I'll hit the Smabat M2S Pro immediately. For gaming, surprisingly, it works very well for gaming. I tried it out with my Xbox controller directly. It's okay, but I think with some amping, it'd be fantastic. The timbre for the M2S Pro is natural. There's no artificial zing or flatness that will render the sound artificial or lifeless. So timbre test for me, I have a new favorite track, is from Birdie's latest album. And that track is called Voyager. Alright, the album is called Young Hearts, but that particular track is Voyager. In Voyager, there are two types of guitars. Left channel is a steel string guitar, right channel is a nylon string guitar. And from there, you get to test two distinct timbres in one track. So you can hear, although the guitars are slightly further back in the mix, but you can clearly distinct two kinds of sounds: steel string, nylon string. So although the guitars take second fiddle to Birdie's voice, you can clearly hear the quality of the guitars. Again, sorry for that thumping noise, you can hear it through the ceiling. I can't control that, so if you hear thumping, it's coming from my ceiling above me. Alright, so I can tell that these guitars here on Birdie's Voyager track sounds very realistic. The steel strings, I can hear the quality of the steel strings. I can hear the quality of the nylon strings. I know that because I do play a little bit of guitars just for fun when I was younger, and I can clearly understand how they sound. Next thing would be violins and strings. They sound really lifelike and complete on Helene Grimaud's The Messenger, that particular album, track 6 specifically. Silverstraw, The Messenger, for piano and strings. The timbre, tone, imaging, stereo separation, soundstage all come together as a fantastic, heavenly ensemble of instruments, and you will truly enjoy such a performance with the Smabat M2S Pro. Genre suitability, you will have the jazz instrumental, jazz vocals, pop rock, heavy metal. EDM is okay-ish, but it's definitely not great if you need the full digging in type of bass. The M2S Pro is unable to produce that. But if you do need that added boost and you are running an i5 Zencan, go ahead, punch that X bass button, and boom, you do get that added boost in that bass to help with your enjoyment. Alright, in summary, I believe the M2S Pro is considered a mid-5 price earbuds, and you do get a lot for the price in terms of sound quality and aural enjoyment. I highly recommend the Smabat M2S Pro as an alternative to a pair of high-quality open-back headphones. So at the price of US $50, $53, you get an extremely high-quality sound that's really close to an open-back headphones like this that would cost at least 3 to 4 times more of what you have paid for something like this. Now, the overall score for the price of the Smabat M2S Pro would be about 4.5 over 5. I would spend US $50 on this, alright, for the kind of sound that I'm getting. So I'm really happy with the M2S Pro. Now, if I was just to swing to the cons for a short while, again, I'm not a big fan of MMCX. So the right side MMCX, you can see, is really firm, but watch the left side. Typically they call it the helicopter. I could spin this thing around easily. So this is just a point to consideration. Now, once I get MMCX that's spinning like this, I'm really hesitant to unplug this set and put in another one. So I don't know when this MMCX connector will fail on the earphone end. So just a point to take note. The cables are really good. I thought cables is a good fit for the earbuds, because you can't have too heavy of a cables on earbuds, because it will really pull it down and away from your ears. So you do need slightly lighter cables for an earbuds like this. Alright guys, so again, I'm really sorry for that thumping noise up from the ceiling. I do hope you can get as best of a information and make an educated decision if you're buying the Smabat M2S Pro. Again, I want to thank Smabat for this opportunity, and I thank you, my audience, for watching this. My videos are always fluid. I'm shooting on the go, setting up, tearing down, because I don't have a permanent studio space at home. So I'm really thankful that you spent this time with me. Alright guys, stay safe, and I'll see you real soon for the next video. Highly likely will be the T-Force Yangli and the BGVP DH5. Alright guys, take care, see you soon.